Welcome back to Barbecue with Greg. Let's put that meat on the grill. Let's get started. Okay, welcome back, barbecue friends. Today, we're gonna be cooking up some beef ribs. Now we'll open up the Louisiana Grills Kamado here. We'll get that fired up. We'll take this cook step by step. Let's get started. We're going to start off putting some hardwood lump charcoal in here. Then I'll use my chimney starter. What I want to do is get these coals nice and hot, pour them on top of the coals I just put in, and we'll just let that burn down throughout the cook. Okay, we got this lit up. Okay, I put a generous amount of charcoal down there. We lit our chimney starter. I got this maybe half filled with charcoal here. We'll get those nice and red and we'll pour those on top of those. Charcoal's nicely lit in this chimney here. Let's pull our bottom grill up. We'll dump our hot coals on top. Like that. Put our deflector plate in. Put our bottom grill back in. I'm going to add a water tray in here. That'll add humidity and help catch some of those drippings from the meat. Okay, let's close this up and adjust our vents. The bottom vent, I'm going to set to about 2 sets of holes. The upper vent, I'm going to open to about 1, just past 1. So while the grill's coming up to temperature here, let's get our meat ready. Okay, here's our rack of ribs we're going to be putting on. It's just under 5 pounds. I got these from my local meat store, Medell Brothers Quality Meats. They're having another barbecue competition in my area, and this time they're cooking beef ribs, racks just like this. The Border City Barbecue Masters. I won't be competing in this competition, but I do support local barbecue talent. We'll cook on the ribs they'll be cooking. Now I just love beef ribs, so we're just going to be putting a simple salt and pepper rub on here. We'll get it on the grill and we'll get that started. Now I'm not going to do any trimming on this. I'm just going to leave that fat cap layer on there. I'm going to leave that membrane on there. All we're going to do is salt and pepper it. Now I'm using a kosher salt on here. Then a pepper. Nice generous portion of pepper. Again with salt and pepper. And here we have it. So far we're about 200 degrees on there, but we'll get the meat started. You can see we got a nice clean burn going because we started with those hot coals on top. I'm going to cook this with the membrane side down. We'll close the lid. We'll check back on this in about 3 hours or so. Give this a lot of time just to render. And we'll do the next step then. All right, we're at the 3-hour mark on this cook. Let's open it up, check it out, look things over, and see what to do next. Okay, right away I can see my temperature's reaching about 350 here. So I'm just gonna dial this back to about about halfway between 0 and 1. Let's open this up. All right. See some crust forming here. See a lot of that fat breaking down. You see some bone pull happening here. Again, you see that happening at the back of the ribs here. Temperature check here, just see where we're at. Wow, 183. 193. Okay. I think we ran a little hotter than I wanted for a little bit, but that's all right. I think what I'll do now that I see all these juices are being released and we kind of come up kind of quickly in temperature, I'm going to wrap this in foil. We're going to catch some of those juices and just let the ribs baste in their own juice. See, they're still pretty rigid here. Because we left that fat cap on, I'm going to do this like kind of the foil boat method here. Really render that fat down, try to get some crispiness on top. I'm going to leave a temperature probe in here. Okay, we'll close this down. There, we'll monitor this with our temperature probe here. When we get closer to about 200 or just over 200, we'll look at pulling this off, letting it rest. So I really like this method of putting the hot coals over the other coals. It's the first time I've tried it on here. It really gave me a clean flame right from the start. So we'll check back when this is ready. We've been on for about 5.5 hours now. Our dome temp is still about 350 here, so we have been running a little warmer on this cook, but we've reached an interior temperature in this meat of 207. So it's time to take this off. All right, so you can see the juice is just bubbling out there. I'm gonna get my temperature probe here, and I'll just show you how tender this is. It's just falling right in. Just like butter. So, we're gonna wrap this up. Pull our probe out here. We're gonna let these rest for about 15 minutes and we'll come back for the taste test. All right, our ribs have rested here. It's time for the taste test. And I'm telling you, I can't wait for this. It smells so good. So we got a nice bark on here. We got nice, you can see just how soft that is on the inside. Cut this open. You can just see how nice a smoke ring we got on there. You could just see how smoky it is in there. Wow. Okay. I know I've said this before, but beef ribs are probably the best tasting meat on the beef. It's nice and juicy. It's just so tender. You get that nice bark. You would think you would taste the pepper more by how much pepper you put on, but the pepper really does absorb all that smoke. So altogether, we're about 5.5 hours cooking time. Probably like 6 when you include the startup and the rest, which is pretty quick actually for beef ribs. As you can see, they turned out real good. If you enjoyed this cook, I'd appreciate you smash that like button. If you want to see more of these cooks, click that subscribe. And we'll see you next time on BBQ with Greg.
Thanks for watching BBQ with Greg, one of those barbecue cooking shows people watch on YouTube sometimes.